Good evening and welcome to this first video of mine of the new skate. I'm sure this game doesn't need any introduction because it's kind of the talk of the moment at the moment. I got it the night of release. I've been playing it for a few hours. Actually just one kind of longish session. Enough to get a feel for it, but I haven't done that much. Apart from the tutorial, and just explore a bit and do a few challenges. Like I said in that post I wrote last night, the game is pretty much what I was expecting it to be. Like nowhere near the realism of Session, but a lot more realism than something like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which I have been playing a lot, almost exclusively in the last week and a half or so. Not even sure where to begin. This will be just a bunch of pretty unstructured thoughts and criticisms and praise, because it's not all bad in my opinion. I hope there won't be too much traffic noise from outside because I'm recording this during my lunch break, which of course coincides with school lunch breaks, and we have a few schools in the area, so there tend to be a lot of kids in the street. But yeah, one thing that made a pretty big difference to me is that no, it's not here in the gameplay section. Like when you first start the game, you have the choice between streamlined controls and classic controls. Classic is for people who have played the previous skate games. But there is also a third mode, experienced, which, as far as I can tell, doesn't change that much, except from the camera angle, as you can see. But also it changes. Oops! It changes which foot you push with. So now in regular, X is normal push, square is Mongo push. Not sure how you revert, okay, like that. But in switch stance, normally X would be, like the push controls would be the same. So X for normal and square for Mongo. But with the experienced controls, the push controls are swapped. So in switch stance, square is normal and X is Mongo. Might not mean much to you, but it makes it the same as Session, which is just actually a pretty big convenience for me, and I'm sure for other people as well. I do not like this low camera. And I'm not sure how to change it back. I thought it was here, but I guess not. Oh, okay. Camera framing high. I haven't really messed with the camera settings too much, but I do prefer the high setting. Let's just skate around a bit and do some random tray flips. I have been playing... Okay. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit thematically, but I just saw before I started recording that you can turn off V's commentary, which I didn't do because I wanted to show what it's like being pretty annoying. So I will turn that off. It's actually kind of funny, I suppose, but it's mostly annoying. Gameplay V comments disable. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about the visual style because that's what everyone is complaining about, and that guy looked exactly like me. But I noticed something. Okay. Now I'm a regular. If I do a 180, somehow I'm in fakie. And now I have to do a regular ollie to do a fakie ollie. Not a huge fan of that. Gameplay controls. Hold fakie stance. Oh, when rolling backwards, stay in a fakie stance until you push. Don't want that. Front foot, back foot, push. When enabled, use square to push with your back foot. That's not how it is, so I hope. Right, so now... Okay. I have to say the visual style, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I wasn't going to complain about it. It's kind of growing on me, I suppose. The controls take some getting used to. There is still some muscle memory from the old skate games. But, you know, it's not session, so I have to rewire myself a bit in that respect. It seems like you can do some, I don't even know what to call it, but some unconventional skating. Like things you can't do in session, like slappies, which you technically can do in session, but they're not a feature as such. I haven't quite figured out how to do them here. That was not safe. It's a very small thing, but having a throwdown animation does so much. Like, obviously it's not in session, to much chagrin of the community. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . there is one here. Also, kind of funnily, I noticed that I'm very mindful of primarily just running into small objects, but also pushing near objects, like this. You can't do in session without ragdolling because of the collision stuff. Like as soon as your foot hits anything, you just collapse in session. And here you don't, which I find myself having to adjust to. The grinds, you know, they do have some, like, it's nice that you can just kind of roll off without having to jump off. I haven't quite mastered that. I'm not even sure how to do it. The gravity feels a bit weird. But for this game, it kind of works, I suppose. I'm noticing I'm having a lot of trouble getting into grinds, which I'm sure is just a skill issue. But, you know, I guess it's kind of nice because you're not sucked into anything close. Like, that was badly explained. The magnets aren't so strong that you get pulled into any kind of edge, even though you don't want to grind. Let's do this thing. Collect all bearings, grind the second bench, grab over the stairs.
This line challenge is pretty low key.
I'm 100% sure I did this yesterday, so I'm not sure what's up. I had a feeling when I showed you the map earlier, I had a feeling that some of the challenge icons weren't correct. Like, I had done them, but they weren't showing that I had done them. I don't know what's up with that. Wait, because I know I did... Not even sure. Maybe it's just... I didn't do it as an actual challenge, but I did it as a story tutorial thing. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but, you know. It's pretty fun, you know. It's very easy to go along with the hate and only focus on the negative. But for what it is, it's really not that bad. I read that some people, like someone commented on the post, that there are still pretty big issues, like being locked into the tutorial. Which luckily wasn't the case for me. I don't know if I got lucky or if it just got patched by the time I did it. clothing is okay. You do unlock quite a few things just by doing challenges. But come on, I don't know how to pop out of grinds. But it's all very generic. If I can find the shop. No, not this shop. Like, oh, okay, I did not know I had these, but I prefer them. It's very, they keep comparing it to Fortnite because it just is a lot like Fortnite. Even though I've never played Fortnite and I never will. What is this? Helmet. Stupid glasses. Socks, ironically. Two blank decks in different colors. Not much else. Stickers, that's a pretty big thing apparently in the game. Like unlocking stickers for your board, which is dumb. Like, yeah. Not sure what all these load things are. Grab music. Oh. Okay. I noticed that yesterday, but I wasn't sure what it was when it's like the little loading circle type things. But I guess you can find new tracks in the world. I want to try and figure out how to side pop out of grinds. One thing about the physics, like I can live with the general feel of the game. It feels pretty slow. But the one thing I hope they will change or add some kind of setting to is just the gravity. Because it's like, I thought I would make it. It's like the way up is slow, but the landing is fast, if that makes any sense. I should have eaten something before I started, because like I said, this is my lunch break from work. But my stomach is kind of upset. As in empty. There is music, and it's actually pretty good. Some of it, at least. But I turned it off in the streamer mode how do you low pop? Or quick ollie, I guess it's called. I'm sure it's not that difficult to ollie out of grinds. I apologize if I'm not doing a lot of interesting skating. Does it say somewhere in the settings? Skatepedia. It's terrible. Grinds. Yeah, I didn't mention this because because it doesn't interest me, but there is a control scheme where you just push and brake with the left stick. Like push, brake, and steer with the left stick, and right stick is just for tricks. I don't know, I'll have to figure out how to do it myself. Maybe I have to hold the left stick first and then ollie. That was kind of sick. Yeah, seems to work. Then you tend to do. Then you tend to do 180s out, which I don't always want. I didn't pay attention to it that much, but the trick names are very inaccurate. Like there's no name for big spins, apparently. Which is fair enough. It's a small thing. Oh, what happened? This might be an appropriate time to check out the replay. Okay. I assume I did something wrong, but I don't know what. So yeah, it's, for my purposes, it's kind of the same as session. You can scrub. You can set your start and end point. I didn't see anything about keyframes, so yeah, session quality clips might not be possible. .360s on flat feel a bit funny. Or I should say impossible. I'm not used to the transition skating. I tend to ollie, but then I usually ollie out of a transition. What was that? I haven't done much with the parkour side of the game yet. I find it's pretty fun to just clamber around, you know. You can do some stuff, I don't know, how necessarily. You know, it's not Storor, or however you pronounce it, the parkour game, but it's okay. Session marker. I'm way overshooting blunt slides because I'm trying to do them like you do them in session, as in getting your whole board over the obstacle, which you don't have to do. Okay. Oh, right. Had the exact same issue yesterday when I didn't see there was a, you know, it wasn't just flush with the ground. Quick ollies are not super responsive. Again, just user error. I don't know how to do tail and nose slides consistently. It's all pretty typical. Okay. I was trying to do them like I remember doing them in Skate 3 and 2, where I think you just had to hold the stick diagonal somehow, but yeah, then that clashes with crooks and over crooks, so maybe I'm remembering wrong. So to the side and then up. Nose slide, tail slide, blunt slide. Okay, it's all the same input, just depends on position. Okay, back tail, no. Front tail, no. I like that there is at least some learning curve. It's not just, it's not too dumbed down. I clipped. Okay, back tail. Okay. So yeah. I will admit I was a bit or I thought I was better than I was, and I didn't need to look at the Trictionary, if you will. Come on, I just want to get out. Not sure why they didn't call it the Trictionary. And they went with the much less catchy Skatepedia. Not to toot my own horn that I'm such a genius, but it seems obvious. That was sweet.